Hi, Paul again from ES Digital, and today we're going to have a look at the new ESD CAP TBH heat press. So what's new with the TBH is that it is both heated top bed and heated bottom bed. Of course, because when you're heat pressing a thicker item like a cap, it's important to be able to apply heat from both sides. Not only does it heat the cap panel up more quickly, but if you can apply heat from the bottom bed and not only from the top, then the top heat doesn't need to be quite so severe because, as you know, that can mark the cap. So the TBH also has a laser positioning guide which I can switch on from the back. So it marks the center position of the cap, so you can place the cap onto the bed and then rotate the cap so that the center seam aligns with the laser guide. I'll turn that off again for a second. Now this is also an auto open cap press, so if I close it, it locks in position, and then after the set times, currently set to 17 seconds, the press will open automatically. I can also open it by pressing the set key at any time, so if I've closed it and need to open quickly, I can open it again quite easily. Now the control panel is very simple. On the first press of the set key, you can see that the upper bed temperature is flashing. So I can now use the up and down arrow keys to set the temperature of the top heated bed. Press once again, changes to the lower bed, and I can set the lower bed temperature. It's currently set to 112, and you can adjust that up and down with the arrow keys. On the next press, we can change the time, the heat press time. Now, bearing in mind this is a cap, caps tend to have thicker front panels, so often take a little bit longer in the heat press than would say a garment like a polo shirt or a t-shirt. So you can set the time at which the press will open. On the next press, it changes to either centigrade or Fahrenheit, and then one more press and we're back to the standard operating procedure. Now, one of the other important features of this press is it comes with 3 different sizes of bottom platen. Now you might wonder why you need that. It's not only a case of the height of the front panel, so different caps have different profiles. Some caps have a center seam, some caps have low profile where the front of the cap curves away more quickly. Now if you try to press that kind of a cap on a standard cap platen, it's not going to fit very well, and then you have the potential to get creases or wrinkles in the cap when you heat press it. So this press comes with 3 different platen sizes, and you can see them here. And not only are they different heights from top to bottom, but the actual curvature of the cap is different, because not all caps have a perfectly round front panel. And if you try to press a cap that doesn't have a round front panel on the wrong platen, again you have this problem of potentially getting creases or wrinkles in the cap when you press it. So you get 3 different sizes, 65, 75 and 80 mil height bottom platens. Very easy to change. You just simply take off that one. This is the standard one that comes with the cap, and it goes onto the press with this part towards the front and the rounded part at the back. So we press it down over the bottom platen. We make sure that it's clipped on both sides. And there we go. So that's the standard size platen that comes, but that might be a bit too large for some of the caps. I'm going to open it again. And then I'll take this one off again. So remember to put it on the right way, so the curved side goes to the back, and this side is for your cap peak seam. So I'll put the other one back on that we had on before. Just place it on top. Press it down, make sure it's locked in on both sides. Turn my laser on. We take the cap, and the idea is you pull the cap sweatband to the front, and then the seam sits in this little ridge here, so that keeps the front of the cap. And we have a tensioning device at the back here I'm going to put that through the strap. Whoop, there we go. So our seam is positioned on the front here. We've got our laser guide showing the center of the cap here. And then, depending on the style of the cap, you have two different heat mats that come with the cap press. This thin flat mat is used with the standard size platen, the 85mm platen. So this is for caps that have a typical rounded front panel. And this serves two purposes. It is both a heat transfer sheet, so it transfers heat very quickly from the top heated platen into the cap panel. But it also serves to protect the cap. So if we place that over the front panel and then press the cap, it serves to protect the cap and stop it from being marked by the heated top platen. Some of those caps that don't have a perfectly rounded front platen, then if you try to press those caps on a standard platen, you could have the problem of producing wrinkles or creases in the front of the cap. Or the second potential problem is uneven pressure. So for those smaller platens, the 65 and 75, they actually are not a perfect curve. They're slightly, the curve is slightly less on either side. So to compensate for that, we use this. This comes with the cap press. So, and you'll see if I hold this up to the camera, you'll see that the sides are slightly thicker than the top. So the idea of that is that once you've got your cap in position, you place this on top of the cap, and the thicker parts at the side help to compensate and even out the pressure on the cap. And then we close the cap, press, locks in position. And this is also a heat transfer mat, so it helps to transfer heat from the top platen into the cap itself to make sure that the logo is securely attached to the front of the cap. So I wish we could say there's one size fits all, but that's not quite the case with caps, because not all caps are the same. We have low profile caps, we have trucker caps, we have different designs of caps with different sizes and shapes of front panel. But the TBH heat press with its 3 standard platens, its laser guidance system, and both heated top and bottom platens help to accommodate for all the different types of caps you might need to heat press. So that's the ESD CAP TBH, TBH meaning top and bottom heat.